Michael Banman, an associate with Stantec Architecture, is a graduate of the University of Manitoba with a master's degree in architecture. He maintains an ongoing interest in architectural education and participated as an invited speaker at both the U of M and Texas Tech University. Michael has been involved in various design competitions on an international level. Also with Stantec Architecture and a graduate of the U of M, Kyle Morphy has worked on projects in India, Korea, China, Singapore, Australia, and New Zealand, with a focus on landscape, urban planning, building conceptualization, and international design competitions. Since returning to Winnipeg from a 4-year stint in Brisbane, Australia, Kyle has been involved in developing Stantec's sports architecture portfolio. Please join me in welcoming the next set of slides tonight, our presenters Michael Banman and Kyle Morphy.
We asked them to present for us, but they declined.
Okay, well, Stantec Architecture came from GBR Architects, and there's such a long history of rigor, of discipline, of optimism, I think, in the future, in the community, and so on. And as a practice, we're trying to re-engage that, and I think that's sort of what you'll see more of as we go through our slides.
Yeah, this is of course our Somos Loci project, which is nearing completion now on the Assiniboine River. And we were told by the warming hut jury that the warming hutness was questioned for the project, which is fair enough, because really what this is an investigation into the relationship between sound, architecture, art, and light. This is, you can see in the drawing on the bottom, this is kind of the site plan for this field of sound tubes that will be passing through along the riverfront. So structured and yet unstructured in a way, but allowing Zambonis and skaters to pass through and walkers and joggers to pass through the installation as well.
This is a site project we're working on called Centerpoint, 311 Portage and Alt at Centerpoint, which consists of a 5-story sort of podium, sort of 2 restaurants, 2 lobbies on the main floor, lobby for the restaurant. It's on the corner of Portage and Donald, and then a 13-story boutique hotel owned by the Germain family. This is sort of a series of diagrams that sort of describe, in part, our sort of approach to the project as we look at the grid and sort of the British-French sort of grid and the hybrid conditions that creates, and what that might mean to the project. As well as to the historic artifact that we found on the site, which is the Mitchell Cop facade, which you see to the left. We also looked at office buildings and this idea of the shed of Sports Hospitality Entertainment District, and the idea of how to make an office space a bit more active, and so bringing vertical circulation to the front of the building as opposed to sitting it in the back, so you sort of see people come and go through the office, and it's sort of framed. Not wanting to glue a building, sort of a new building onto a heritage facade. There's sort of a gap or space, there's a tension between the old and the new, and really sort of allowing that artifact to remain where it is, sort of portal and gateway that it was always intended. It actually wasn't part of the original bank building, it was a separate facility. The second part of this project is parquet that's essentially in the back lane along Hargrave back to Ellis, and sort of a parquet, main levels commercial, there'll be a lobby for condo, and then the parquet itself. Originally we're looking at having two condo towers on top, very sort of Miesian, condo towers all glass, very simple sort of thin black line or plane sort of relationship to the prairie horizon, and unlike the opposite project, where the tower is sort of maybe a bit more random, in this case, the sort of jewel box ends up being the parquet itself. So there's sort of this idea of shifting the ground plane from the ground, pulling it up around, encapsulating the parquet as sort of this jewel box, and then resting this very sort of simple glass house on top. Again, you can just see this sort of Miesian idea, very sort of horizontal planes. You see the amenity space at the top. I think that's flip.
This is the SOPO project, which stands for South of Portage. And it's really meant as the kind of the epicenter, the focal point of the Shed District, which is Winnipeg's sports, hospitality, and entertainment district in downtown. And the composition is comprised of 3 buildings and a parkade. The 3 buildings kind of relating to each other in form and in proportion and treatment of their facades. The most important part of the compilation is that on 3 sides, the buildings enclose kind of an urban event space, which really becomes kind of the focal point of the Shed District. I think in the next slide you'll see in kind of full-fledged winter mode, the idea of the event plaza is that it's a multi-use space, able to house a skating rink installation while simulcasting the Jets game on a screen that shrouds the parkade. Again, the focal point being the urban event space that is able to house kind of a 24/7 district. And this is kind of the view of it in full-on concert mode with this medium mesh LED screen shrouding the parkade and creating kind of a vibrancy that's really reflective of our new revitalized downtown Winnipeg. And just to, I guess, switch gears a little bit here, one of the important parts of our practice for the moment is that we are the sports architecture sector lead for Stantec globally out of Winnipeg under the direction of Jeff Penner. And it's a group that we've called the Stantec Sports Studio. And for design drivers for projects like these, we draw upon sport and the emotion and passion that's felt for sport and kind of the community and camaraderie that's felt for sports projects, either participating with others in sport together on a team or at a community level, or by kind of the shared experience of attending an event together, kind of that shared sort of emotion and passion that only really sport can draw out. Some of the projects that we're showing here are some of our work from globally from Stantec. On the left is the Uplands Park Yankee Stadium project, which is kind of a massive urban recreation park in place of the old Yankee Stadium, designed by our New York office. And on the right, it is the Harvard University Stadium renovation project by Stantec Boston. I guess to touch upon one of my favorite moments of entering a big venue like this is kind of being there an hour or 2 before a big event, kind of the calm before the storm, and seeing an event kind of waiting for the excitement to occur. This is the Dubai Motor City project by our offices in Dubai and Doha, and I guess something that we want to bring home is that we're currently collaborating with them for works in the Middle East, in Qatar for the World Cup 2022. And to bring it further home, this is the Selkirk Sports Park project, which is, again, bringing it back to the community level for sport and the creation of a new 3,000-seat arena and multi-use center around getting basically a place for people to join and share in sport, health, and wellness. Thanks.